Hey everyone, my name is Ashley Van Camp, and I decided to do my policy on reproductive health policy review, and it's more specifically Michigan's response following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I decided to just mainly focus on Michigan just because I felt like it was more applicable to us at the moment, though I know that we need to always be looking at the bigger picture thing. So here we go. So policy, an overview of the policy. So after the overturning of Roe v. Wade in June of 2022, Michigan has since passed the Proposition 3. It is a proposition that has ensured its citizens the right to abortion and other reproductive health care in the state constitution. For those of you who voted, I'm sure you remember voting on this. This was really huge. Not too long ago, about 2-ish years ago. I know that if you were in my class with Tina Thompson, we talked about this quite a bit. So also it is the overturning of Roe v. Wade and eliminated federal standards on the access to abortion. Instead of allowing each state to create their own, including outright banning an individual's access to abortion and other reproductive health care. So when Roe v. Wade was turned over, any protective measures that were on the federal level went away, and each state was allowed to make their own laws and choose what they wanted in regards to reproductive health care. So what we will be focusing on primarily for the purpose of this is a package of 21 bills, and it's referred to as the Reproductive Health Act. And it was introduced in the State House and Senate on the 7th of September. The legislation introduces a variety of changes to Michigan's laws on abortion. So this comes after Proposition 3 and what we already have in the state constitution regarding reproductive health care. So the Reproductive Health Care Act, what is it trying to change? Like I said, sorry, I had to move myself. We already had Proposition 3, so what more is there, right? So the Reproductive Health Act is trying to eliminate criminal punishments for miscarriages and stillbirths. It's a new act to create a right to the abortion in the state of Michigan, and it would remove licensing restrictions on facilities that provide those restrictions. It also is set to eliminate the 24-hour waiting period for an abortion and repeal the requirement to provide state literature for those seeking an abortion. These are all big things while yes, we have a hierarchy access to reproductive health care because of Proposition 3. There are smaller things within that needed to be updated within Michigan law, and these are 3 examples of such things. So why is this important? As we know, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, there was a lot of we don't know what's happening, right? Luckily that we live in a state where reproductive health care was voted into the state constitution, but there are a lot of states where that didn't happen. A lot of those states, as you can see on this map, had trigger laws that would ban all or nearly all abortions with the ban of Roe v. or the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So as the majority of the map, as you can see, was part of that, and Michigan at the time of this map being created was unenforced pre-Roe ban on abortions. So we were kind of just in a limbo, and so this proposition will help more secure the reproductive rights. And I'll move myself again. Okay. More about the policy. Who supports it, right? It is supported by Governor Gretchen Whitmer and other Democratic lawmakers. Democrats have in recent years repeatedly introduced legislation referred to as the Reproductive Health Act, and which would repeal Michigan's targeted restrictions on abortion providers, which are also known as TRAP laws. But this was never voted on by Republican-led legislators in the past. So this revamped version of the act is what is going to be introduced later this month. So while this act has has kind of existed. This is a more revamped version that they're hoping to actually get voted on by the Republican legislatures and everybody else. So what does that mean for us as social workers? What values within the code of ethics does this policy reflect? I think the main value, which is a pretty obvious one for me, is the value of social justice. As we can read in the code of ethics, social workers, we strive to ensure access to needed information, services, and resources. Some of those needed resources, right, are reproductive health care. I'm sure that we will see that a lot of that within our social work careers. Equality of opportunity and meaningful participation in decision-making for all people. Reproductive health care and the right to an abortion should be, I'm sorry, fumbling over words. The decision should be made by the individual seeking, not people outside the situation, right? So this gives more power and right to the person experiencing the need for reproductive health care. Another big thing is as the social workers, which fall under the value of social justice, need to be fighting for the rights of the vulnerable and the oppressed. In a lot of these situations, when it comes to abortion, the people seeking it cannot, they're vulnerable in the state of they cannot afford to have a child, or anything else that is leading them to seek out this abortion. And so we need to be fighting for the rights of those people. Yeah, that is the end of my presentation and the policy that I've chosen to focus on regarding reproductive health care. Here are my references. I will move myself one more time so you can see all of it. And thank you for listening. And I hope that everybody has a great day.